Hello and welcome. Thank you for checking out my channel. So before I get into anything, this is a spoiler alert. So you have 10 seconds to get out if you don't want to spoil anything from One Piece the SABODY arc on or before. No, before. So I won't spoil anything for you. So this is your official spoiler warning, and I'm going to get into it. So basically, what's happening here is that, okay, so the main character, if you don't know, is Luffy. He's the one in the blue, and he is actually a wanted pirate who, he's with his group of friends, and the person he's talking with is supposed to be some sort of big shot pirate who, he was the right-hand man of the person who conquered the seas, and this person who conquered the seas, that's who Luffy wants to be in the future. So right now, if you watched my previous videos, you can understand what's happening. But right now, what they're trying to do basically is they've come to this island and they realize that the military is after not military, fuck, Marines. The Marines are after them, and what the Marines are doing is they want to capture all of these pirates. So the following pirates that you see here, like the first three, first one in the mafia outfit was Capone, second one with the Exodus chest, that's Drake. This kid in the with like the red cape, that's Eustace Kid. So a brief explanation of his power and Law, Trafalgar Law. Kid, he can repel and attract magnetic objects. So that's actually a good defense and offense. He basically uses it to make a giant metal arm to like either offense or defense basically. Law, right next to him in the hat, what he can do is he can make a room. It's a blue sphere room because he's known as the Surgeon of Death. He has this room where if he cuts you, your body gets cut in half, but you don't die. So as you can see here, they're trying to fight the military and they're trying to get out as fast as they can. So right now, it says the victory condition is, I guess I just need to like barge through the Marines. So I'm just gonna go ahead and get started, get past the loading screen. And so now you're gonna see like a brief, I guess a show up of their powers. So if you don't know, Monkey D. Luffy, the main character of the series, is made of rubber. And you'll see all their powers in just a few seconds. So he fires a ball, and as you can see, he's using it, and he says, repel, and he pushes it back. So that's like a magnetic repel thing, and I don't know if that's made of lead or whatever. And as you can see, he's sucking up all the swords like a giant like magnet and making an arm, which I think is a pretty cool power because, I mean, if you think about it, what do the Marines use that aren't made of metal? So as you can see, Luffy is made of rubber. He turns the balloon, knocks the ball back. Now this next one is Law. Remember, he uses a blue broom, and then what he can do is he can switch places using shambles, and then the bomb explodes because he switched places with the person's head and the cannonball. Even though the cannonball is supposed to look like a gun, and the cannonball doesn't really explode, it just shoots through the object. So basically, yeah. So the one thing I do like about this game is how you can string together combos like what I'm doing now. Because one of the things that I really enjoy doing is seeing how many combos I can string together without like doing the same moves over and over again. Now I will be doing the same moves over and over again, but that's just because I'm the first one. The reason why I'm doing this analysis and not just a playthrough while I'm playing the game is because I'm also going to get into what he just did in this movie. I'm doing this because I just want to just focus more on analyzing it. I am just stringing up combos. The green aura that's around Luffy, that's not in the anime, but the green aura isn't, but the move that he's doing is called second gear. And what second gear does, it improves the elasticity, I guess, of his moves. So for instance, it maximizes his speed. So I guess if he shoots his fist, he can retract it very fast. So I guess it's kind of like if you have a rubber band and you pull it and you let it go. That's the power of his punch. So it's like hold a rubber band from end to end and let it go and it slaps your finger. That's kind of what the method is. This is Gum Gum Jet Gatling. And all of Luffy's moves are named after like guns, like Gatling gun. And you'll see variations of guns more further in the anime once I get into it. So basically, what's happening is they have to get off the island, and they have to get off it fast. But what Luffy did is he punched a celestial dragon. Now, celestial dragons are people who they are descendants from people who created, I guess, the government. They created the government, so the government has to defend them at all times. So what Luffy did is he hit one for killing his squid friend Hachan, and so that's why all the military is after him, because they just want to arrest him for essentially breaking the law. It's kind of like if I hit someone related to the president. So he would. That's why all of this damage would be brought on that person. So it's basically he has to get out and get out fast. He has to get out with his crew. While his crew is being shown, I'm gonna go ahead and go in more in depth into that. If you don't know who his crew is, so if you want to know what just happened here, is Luffy can also not only expand but inflate his body. So what he's doing, he's not inflating his skin, he's inflating the bones. So if he inflated his skin, then his foot wouldn't do as much damage as it would in general. Because if he inflates his skin with air, it's kind of like you're being hit with a balloon. But if you're inflating your bone, it's kind of like a giant bone and your foot is hitting you, which will cause more damage. So I do like how in the game they separate these things called speed types, power types, and I guess sky types. And that basically means that speed types like Luffy have a more in-depth ability to go faster, I guess, and their stamina is greater. Power users can, I guess they use more stamina, but their moves are like super strong. And sky users always stay in like the air. Like when you use their, I guess, the right or left trigger and the circle button, that activates their full burst. So they either gain speed, like what Luffy does in second gear, or they can fly or whatever, and other stuff. I haven't really explored much into that, but I will, and furthermore into the game. So, basically, what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to get off the island, but I have to go through all of these people first. Now, if you're wondering who this big robot guy is that I'm fighting right now, his name is, he is a special, not really a special case, but his name is Kuma, Bartholomew Kuma. According to what he's doing, I guess this is I don't know if this is the real Kuma or not, but they're separated into two. It's Kuma, like the actual warlord of the sea, which I'll go into again later, and something called a pacifista. Now, a pacifista looks exactly like that, but they're robots. Now, it's almost indistinguishable. So Kuma and the pacifistas are almost indistinguishable. So they use Kuma's body, and they use, I guess, his voice as the basis for all these robots. So what Kuma can actually do, and it's what he's showing now, is how he's like swooping with his hand. He ate something called a devil fruit. Now, devil fruits are what give these characters their abilities. Like Luffy's made out of rubber, uses Kid, can attract metal, and Kuma, he ate something called the paw fruit. That means he can slap things away, or if something hits him in the palm of his hand, he can reflect it. Now, this guy here, he is one of the 3 Navy admirals. His name is Kizaru. That's it, Kizaru. His name is Kizaru, he's actually made of light. And it goes more in depth of basically the 3 different types of double fruit users. Now, I'm going to go ahead and tell them as I see them. So, since I introduced the double fruits with Kizaru first, Kizaru is a Logia type. I guess I'm Logia types are, I guess, people who are made of elements, like natural elements, like light, darkness, fire, ice. And in his case, he's made of light. He's a light human. And normal attacks can't hit him because he's basically made of light. So he's one of the 3 Navy admirals, and in my opinion, he's like the strongest person in the game. Well, not the game, but like he has the potential to be strong because he has the ability to adapt light's abilities. So he's made of light, and he can do all the things that light can. He can move in light speed, and the best part is that he can swing his limbs at light speed. Now, I'm going to get mathematical. Bad idea. Force, my assumption. Force equals mass times acceleration. Kizaru can swing his limbs at the speed of light. So if you take the weight of his arm or his leg that he's hitting you with and multiply it by the speed of light, that's how much force he's exerting. Jesus Christ, I'm about to lose. So yeah, you'll see this more into the game, but normally when I start losing, I start running away because I do not want to start over. And there are some times where I'm like, oh, I'm playing as this character, and then I'm losing all the time, and I'm like, why is he moving so slow? And then I guess I'm not good with that character, but I'm not gonna say that character sucks, because somebody out here might be very talented, very skilled with a character, and some other people won't. So because my thing is, if you notice, I like to string together combos really fast. Now when I dash into people, that's when I can continue the combination. That's a really good strategy, and I like that only because it doesn't give the enemy time to respond. So if you can see here, he's shooting, and he can actually knock down a tree. This actually happened in the anime, come to think of it. That's like a first display of his power in the anime, but I guess he used it here. Another thing I want to get into is what happened with Luffy, and after he used his Gum Gum 4 axe, that's when he inflates his foot. Anytime he inflates his body to the point where his limbs grow, I guess like, how can I say it? If you stretch something out and it becomes if you I don't know how to explain it, but I don't know what this has to do with rubber, but if he inflates something, then if he inflates his body or his hand or something, then his entire body shrinks to the size of a kid for about 10 seconds. Because I guess he filled his bones with either, I guess, air or hockey. I don't know. Because I don't know if he fills it with hockey, because I know in one of his forms he fills it with hockey, but that's not for later. And I also like how in this game you can go from mission to submission and things like that. It's like you always have something to do in these levels. That's why I'm running around, because like the map is so big, and I just like how I have all these objectives in the game, and I have more of a chance to get more, I guess, belly. That's the currency of the game, by the way, called belly. And while I'm at it, I'm gonna go ahead and speak on this. So you see he inflates his leg, he deflates, and he's the size of a kid. I'm guessing all my power and all my strength is like weakened, but then after a little while I go back. That actually happens in the anime. So while I'm on the topic of belly and currency of this game, every pirate has a currency, and basically it's kind of like power level. Like, you know how Dragon Ball Z has the power level, Bleach has the Bleach has the spiritual pressure. One Piece has bounties, and the higher a bounty is, the stronger and more legendary the pirate becomes. Now, I'm assuming that at this time, either Luffy's bounty, I think it's either at 500 million or 320. I'm not sure, but it's high. It's high to where he's considered a superhero. Now, in the beginning of the video, we saw all these characters. All of those characters have a bounty of 100 million or more. They're called the supernovas, and they're a part of the worst generation. They call it the worst generation because these are pirates, rookies, who have just come out of nowhere, but they made a name for themselves, and they're like the new big time pirates. So, what they're doing is they're trying to establish themselves in this world, and they're trying to take down the best pirates so they can become the best. Now, the whole goal of the show is to conquer the sea and find One Piece, which is the treasure, or they don't specify that it's a treasure. They just said that it's a, well, they do specify it's a treasure. They don't specify that it's a treasure of like money. I don't know if it's like a treasure like you get a fruit that lets you turn into water so you can control the 7 seas or something like that, but it's fun. And another thing about rebel fruit users is if they fall in the water, they can't swim. Like they lose all their strength, all their power when they get into the water, which is really ironic since they're going from island to island, and this actually, I believe this involves all type of water. Like if they're in a pool, that's like if they're submerged in water, they can't move. All their strength is lost. So one of the things that the military does is they use sea stone to restrict devil fruit users' powers. Now, as I explained from the Logia fruit user, like they're made of natural elements, and they can control their elements, and they can produce their elements. There's another type. I can't pronounce it. I'm just gonna call it Permenthia. I'm gonna call it Permenthia until I find out how to pronounce it. But Permenthia users are people like Luffy, Use's Kid, literally everyone else who isn't made of an element. Now, if you can say, oh, Luffy can be considered a Logia user because he's made of rubber. Well, rubber is not really it is a natural element, but a Logia user, I guess, well, I think to describe it, I think it's how often they're made of. Like, Luffy's always made of rubber. Like, if you slap Kizaru on the arm, it's not like it's not like your body's gonna phase through him, because he has the ability to turn his body, or he has the ability to, or I guess they can control what goes through them. But people like Luffy, they're always made of their element, or they're always made of what their fruit entails. They can't turn it off. So he's always going to be like that. That's what makes him special. Anyone else, they can control magnetism. They're like a human tank. They can control straw, which are actual powers in this game. I'm just making this up. These are what these people can do. But it's really, really fun how they have a variety of all these powers. Now, back to explaining this game, because I think a lot of things have happened. So, if you see, there is this big man, and yes, that is a man, called Shimotaru. He is the niece. He's the niece of Kizaru, the really tall guy with the power to control light. Now, Shimotaru is, I guess, the strongest guard in the world, and the Shimotaru is basically the head of the how can I explain it? Shimotaru is the head of the scientific unit, which means she is in control of all the pacifistas. Now, I don't know if this is just a coincidence, but the pacifistas' beams, even though it doesn't look like it now in the anime, the pacifistas' beams and how they shoot energy and light, that all comes from, and this is what I'm assuming, and this is what I've heard and seen. I don't know how true this is. I may have to look back into this, but they are getting all their light beam energy from Kizaru. Now, I don't know if since Kizaru donated this energy to the pacifistas, that his niece is now in control of this, but I'm not really sure how that works out. So it's a cool game. I also like how you can destroy the environment, or you can actually get trophies for it. And this right here is my mistake. I thought there was a chest behind here, so if you hit a building too much, it'll break, and you'll be able to get past the building like this. I hit it, all the buildings break, and I'm like, where's the chest? And I'm like, oh wait, the chest is around the corner. So I have to go all the way around the corner just to get the chest. But as you can see, I'm small. I used my my ability to expand myself, like to inflate my limbs. Now that's actually another gear. So gear second is when he turns green, and in here he turns green, but in the anime he turns purple. That's second gear. Third gear is when he inflates his limb, is when he expands his foot, or he like inflates his body. So when he inflates his body, or he like makes his hand or his arm big, or he like blows into his thumb, that's third gear, and he has all these different gears. Now, I'm going to go ahead and let you know that in the future videos, he's going to unlock something called fourth gear, but I'm not going to get into that. So, if you remember how I said that I like to string together combos, this is what I was talking about. I really do like how I can just string together combos, and then if he like goes into his light form, I'm able to like move past it and just keep hitting him. All I have to do is just make sure that he can't get a hit in and move when he tries to hit. Now that purple bar under his health, it builds back up and turns into shield. So I have to break those shields and make sure that shield, I guess it's a bluish white shield bar goes down. When that shield bar goes down and turns to purple, that means it's recharging. So he's able to take more damage. That's why you see me going in on him right now, because I want to hit him before he charges up. Now, at the speed that I'm moving and the combos that I'm stringing, I'm trying to make sure that once his bar fills up, I'm already in a combo that can make it go all the way back down. And I'm glad I'm not being hit by any of his moves, because if I get hit by one of his moves, that will take my health down so much. And I've tried this. I've really tried, because you see that traditionally it's not supposed to go down that. It is, but I don't know if he has this power boost. He's an admiral, but there's also 3 admirals. This one who can control light, this one who can control ice, and one who can control magma. You'll see them later. But you'll see them later in a video that I'm going to go ahead and edit. But his shield is up, and I can either bring that down or finish him off. But the shield doesn't necessarily mean he can't take damage. It's just saying that all of my attacks become weak. So I do like the whole thing of shields. So to explain what's happening in this situation, since he has the power to control light, he can blind people as he's doing now, and also he can move at light speed. So he's in front of him. Now he moved at light speed to hit Zoro. Now, you can go ahead and just say, Zoro, move. Yeah, Zoro's the guy on the ground. He's like the second, he's the vice captain because he's the second one to join. But you can say, Zoro, why don't you move? Because this happened in the anime, but in the game, it looks like he's just sitting there. But in the anime, he's on the ground, he's weak, and he can't move. So he just got saved by Silver's Rayleigh, the vice captain of the Gold Roger pirates. Remember the pirate that I told you who conquered the sea and who had that treasure? The captain of that was Gold D. Roger, or Gold Roger. So that's his second in command. And he's saying that he doesn't feel like working hard because he's treating all these other pirates like, oh, they're just a walk in the park, but he's actually an equal because he's the right hand to the strongest pirate in this anime. He's dead, but he was a strong pirate. Just know that he's a strong pirate. Now, this whole scene, it took a lot for Luffy to admit that he can't win because normally they don't really run away from the fight. Now, this is the actual Bartholomew Kuma. He can take his hand and repel things. And as you can see, he can take his hand and swing it to a degree where he can repel people in a direction, in any direction around the world. So he's not disintegrating them. He's slapping them and they disappear, and he's sending them to somewhere around the world. Now, there's a reason why he's doing this, and it's not the reason that you think. I'm going to go ahead and explain it in the future if it gets to that point, but if it doesn't, fuck it, I'll just explain it now. So Bartholomew Kuma works with he works with something called the Revolutionary Army. The Revolutionary Army is a organization run by his dad. Luffy's dad, not his dad. And I think my time is up. So I'm going to continue in the next video. I really hope you like this video. Please subscribe and just tell me what you think about it, and tell me what you want me to react to next or to explain next. Thank you and have a wonderful day.